Live. So just a second. Okay, so we are officially live right now. So Jerry, thank you again so much for being here with us. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Jerry. Jerry Big Daddy Cadorette, one of the best arm wrestler of the US and North America, and one of the famous arm wrestler in the world. So today it's really cool, and it's a big pleasure to have you here, Jerry. So thank you that you're here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome, Jerry.
And before this guy will ask you a lot of interesting, maybe tricky questions, I want to ask you a couple of questions which I'm interested about. Because first of all, you pulled with all the top guys in the US, yeah? And I want to ask you, who was the toughest your opponent you pulled with? Who was like the strongest, in your opinion, guy with which who pulled?
I think for strength-wise, Dave Chafee is definitely one of the strongest in the U.S. He's super strong and just needs to work on endurance, you know. But as a hand, you know, inside the hand and in a hook, yeah, I think Dave.
I see. And one more question, because you had a lot of excelling, winning with all the guys, probably with every one of them. And which is like your biggest victory in the past, or like you remember the fight which was tough, or maybe just which you by your own feel like the biggest achievement in arm wrestling?
Well, I think everyone has that person, right, that they were gunning for. And when I was young, obviously the person was John, right? And having to make sure you get that win. And because there was so many matches that we had that were ridiculously close. And he was just so dominant. And then when I finally did get that win and then got it in a super match, you know, it was, for me, that was like the white buffalo, we'll call it, right? Where
yes, for everyone, match with John is something special. For everyone, I think it's like, yeah, it's absolutely something amazing and special. And now we have actually a big match upcoming with Gennady, which like previously won with Dave. Dave previously won with me. I was previously won with Hermes, and we have this beautiful ring of interesting things. And if you won with Gennady, you will be already in the top, like very, very high. Yeah. So I want to ask you how you feel now about your shape. So now we can expect your best shape compared to like previous years. How you feel you're confident, and how was your preparation for this big match?
I've been training hard and trying to make sure I was ready for it, because I don't want any excuses going in. And I feel really good right now. I just had a large practice on Wednesday night, and there was over 40 guys that showed up. So I stayed on the table for probably an hour and a half, and without taking a rest. And so because I wanted to work on stamina, because I know Gennady has good stamina, and I expect that this match should be a war, and I'm anxious to see how I fare up against them. I know people have talked about it for a bit, right? And this match is supposed to go down a few times, so now it's finally going to go down, and I want to go in there and prove to the world, you know, that I'm ready.
Yeah, it's it's really nice that, for example, both guys like little bit know what to expect from each other, but of course it will be like the level. Like I know that you will be prepared as much as possible. Also Gennady, and yeah, it can be the war, because like I asked previously some other athletes, some other arm wrestlers, and they say that sometimes you know what Jerry will do, but after you grab your hand, and you feel that it's not enough to know how it will be. Like you see that you try to top row and your arm go there. So I believe that from the start position, it can be really, really interesting. Like who will control the starting movement and go to his like best movement activities. It's that guy can control the match. So yeah, it will be awesome and absolutely interesting match. And
I think so too.
yeah, and for example, for you, like you have the plan A, which like most effective, or you have like the couple of plans. Maybe you don't want to open the secrets, but maybe you prepare something special for Gennady, or you will be using like your favorite technique.
Well, I want to go in ready to go in a couple different ways, because I don't know what way he's going to go. And I mean, he's versatile. He goes, he can go inside, outside, top roll. He's, he's pretty strong. So I want to be ready. I don't know if he'll have the balls to go in a hook, but I would love for him to go in a hook with me. And this way we can see who truly is stronger. But I would think that he's going to go outside, but with a 7-inch pad, that's not a lot of pad to run. And
yeah, that's right.
When it's a WAL pad, 9-inch, he's got a lot more room, and which was where we had originally signed a contract to pull each other. He just couldn't get a visa. So I was more worried about a 9-inch pad than I am a 7-inch pad.
Okay. And the organizers already said it will be like WAF rules, or it something like middle between WAL and WAF?
I thought it was going to be WAF rules, but I don't care. It don't matter to me. As long as we get a fair start, I think this match is going to be determined on the start. If whoever gets into their position quicker, I don't think either one of us is a person that's going to give up. So, for the war to happen, we're going to be looking at whoever gets into their position quickest. And if I can get into my position quicker, I know he's going to hang on, but can he hang on for as long as I can keep pushing? And I don't know, right? And then I know if he gets me opened up, how long am I going to be able to stay with him on top of my wrist? So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And now, of course, Isa, I want to ask you a lot of tricky questions, so I give the word to Isa. Isa, yes, ask your tricky questions as you want.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. First of all, it's an honor to speak with you, Jerry. You are one of the great athletes that I really look up in America, especially. So thank you so much for doing this. Just a heads up, how much time you have of your time, because I don't want to keep you too long here. Maybe you have to enjoy the weekend with your family. So just so we can organize it better.
Yeah, that's all right. We got a little bit.
Okay, it's perfect. So the chat is already live. They're seeing this interview, and somebody's asking if you caught already any fish.
We've had some bites, but no success.
Okay, it's good. And we have a couple super chats. We will get in those, and then we can start the interview. Ferrell is asking, what win does Jerry think he was his best and most important for his legacy?
What? Say it again.
The win that was most important for your legacy, in your opinion.
Well, I think beating John was huge. Beating Cleve Dean multiple times. He got one, and then let me. Sorry.
No problem.
You there?
Yeah.
My auto was calling. So when I ended up beating Cleve, having multiple matches with him, and that was a huge win for me. Gary Goodrich, John Brzezinski. I mean, I remember I started this in back in a long time ago, right? In the early 90s. So those were the icons that to me, were the milestones. Like, you were really good if you hang with these people, and then let alone to beat them. And you know, I was able to beat Ron Bath. I was able to beat all of them. And back in the day, our contest was Yukon Jack, and I ended up I started it. In first year was like, you know, I got 5th, and then 4th, then 3rd, then 2nd. You know, so I progressively went up each year from when I was 21, because you had to be 21 to enter. And so I was 21 years old the first year, and I got 5th. You know, and then 22 I got 4th, 23 I got 3rd. You know, 24 I got 2nd, and then they stopped. It sucked. It's like they knew I was next, but that's all right.
Yeah, and I don't know, Alex, if you knew it, but Jerry actually in the past was like a small human being. Like, if you see his videos in the back in the 90s,
I never saw, like, always
human. It was
always
not
when I saw Jerry, he was huge, like almost like now. He was always big, but never saw the video like the smaller version of Jerry. And actually, I don't know that before that Jerry pulled with Cliff Dean. It's amazing, you know, because it's hard to find something in YouTube now. Sometimes it's more videos, like interesting videos like this, but I think we need to find it. Will be the work for you, Isa, to find the video with Jerry and Cliff Dean and put it in here. It will be awesome, I think.
Oh yeah, me and Cleve, our first match was at the Yukon Jack championship, and it was for 2nd and 3rd place, right? Because I just had a war with Gary Goodrich, and I lost, and then ended up, me and Cleve had to go head to head, and we went head to head, and it ended up being, which at that time was my longest match, a 3-minute match. And Gary was just licking his chops, because whoever won, you know, that's who he had to face. So neither one of us was going to have anything left in the gas tank. So I had him down the entire time, and then I got a cramp in my leg about 3 minutes in that killed me, and I lost, which sucked. The first and only loss to Cleve. And then the following year, I beat him at the national championship. And then the following year after that, I beat him again at the national championship. So it worked out in my favor, because that was, you know, again, you're young, you're up and coming, you're learning the sport, you're learning from your losses, and you're trying to be, you know, to be the best. To be the best, you have to beat the best. And so that was why I chose to go that route.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the same what I also repeat to myself, that like we're learning more from this, something which gives us information how to be better. And if somebody won with me, it's like the answer what to do to be better. Yeah, so it's great that like if you only won in some like competition, it's don't give you something new, but to lose sometimes it's useful to be better. Yeah, it's absolutely true. And Jerry, do you have this video to pull when you pull with Cliff Dean or with Gary somewhere? Like,
I got it buried, but I'll send it to you.
Oh, great! Yeah, and we'll add this video probably later.
So it's actually, you can find it on YouTube, Alex. It's Jerry and Cliff. I just saw it for the interview. It was amazing. It was amazing, because you see like quote unquote small Jerry against the giant Cliff Dean, and he was actually pressing him, and he was almost got him. And it's crazy, like the size of the hands of Cliff is just something. Oh my God, such a big human being, such a big human being.
Yeah.
We have a fun super chat. It is kind of controversial, but I will ask it. Gary, what do you think of the decision not to stop the match when the strap came loose against Michael in WAL?
I was pissed off, right? That's such a bullshit call. And I mean, it's their strap. Their strap failed, right? I did nothing wrong other than I was willing to accept the foul, you know, and get the restart so that their equipment could be done, could be fixed. And no one, neither him or me, I feel as though I was in a better position. So me giving up the foul was a courtesy. And so like if I was in a losing position, or if he was in a better position, not giving up the foul, people would have thought I was doing it to avoid a loss. But I knew I was behind my shoulder, and I was pressing, down on him, so I was in a good position. The strap came apart. Our fingers weren't even touching, so there's no way either him or me could have won. Because if he had brought me over right to the pad, he couldn't have gone low enough to pin me. And same thing for me. If I bring him to the pad, there's no way his hand would have been low enough to touch.
Yeah, it is true. It's like faulty equipment at the end. Like the WAS strap is, I think, very, very bad. Like the metal rings, and it, like if especially when you guys sweat a lot, it gets like slippery. Okay, yeah, it's true. About your pulling style, because you have a very, very particular pulling style. How did you discover that? Because you were already doing it like 20 plus years ago. So like, how was it? What about the press? You were maybe a hooker in the beginning, or a top loader. Maybe then you transitioned.
Yeah, I used to love going into a hook, and what would happen is if someone had an explosive hit on a top roll, I would dive in, and then I would end up giving up the wrist because I committed to the hook so much in diving with my shoulder behind it. So it just kind of incorporated itself where I was comfortable in that position, because what I used to do as a job when I was a kid was concrete forms. And I used to carry the concrete forms, like this, going in and out of ditches, and I'd carry one on each hand.
Wow.
And so that just got my hand used to being in that back position. And so I was comfortable, it didn't hurt me. Some people, they get into that position and it hurts, but not for me. I felt like I was back at work, right? And so in bringing that to, a me and putting it into play, and it was successful, I was like, oh shit, I can do this, right? So next thing, working on that as well. But for the record, I would much rather be, with my hand turned in and going into a hook. But it's people usually don't want to go in with me, so they come out. When they come out, I'm able to give up my wrist and just hold on with my fingers and then go for the press.
Wow, it is incredible. Also, the integrity of your elbows, because like the few times some people try with the kind of press, like the elbow gets sore as hell. Like, I don't know how you were able to do it for 30 plus years with such great athletes. It's like the integrity of your elbow is just amazing. And what kind of training you do to maybe improve that kind of technique, or maybe improve the healing or strengthening that part of your hand, the arm?
The training I do is driven, everything I do is driven towards arm wrestling, right? So I don't do any other than bench press. Everything else is pretty much towards how I would compete. So I do pull-ups on a 2x4s, right? So when I do my pull-ups, it's just with my fingertips. So for me, that strengthens my hand. I do push-ups with my fingers in a diamond, so my nose touches in between my fingers. So when you push back up, it's like the same motion or same muscle that you use for a press. And then I focus on wrists a lot, and then triceps are obviously a big component. And I have a preacher curl machine that when you turn around and do it in reverse, I use it as a tricep move, and it's able to, I can push, it's a Cybex preacher curl machine. And so when I stand in front of it rather than behind it, you're able to grab the handle and press it like you're going into a tricep move. And the problem is the stack only goes up to 150 pounds. So I use one hand, 150 pounds, like 40 to 50 times. And so it works on stamina, works on strength, so just go until you get tired.
Yeah. And you are well known for being you have a lot of endurance. That's out of, like, no doubt about it. And your bench is absolutely nuts. Like, you do 405 for how many reps? Like 20, something like stupid like this?
I do, I'll start with 225. And the problem is I lift usually alone, right? Unless my son's there. And then in lifting alone, you know, I'm not trying to go for records. I'm just trying to get strong. I'll do 225 for about 50 to 60 reps. And then I'll do 315 for 35. And then I'll do 405 after that for 12 to 15. And but again, it's in a row. It's in concession. And then I'll end with 225 for 35. Right. So it gets me, you know, more endurance. And I don't care about what I can do one time. I care about how strong I can be. And then the endurance wise. So for me, it helps out. And I'm trying to get to be able to bench 225 with one hand. Right. And I had it, but my son helped me. So I didn't post it because he shouldn't have touched it. It was starting to go a little crooked. And crooked, he was nervous. So he reached under it. It's like, son of a bitch. No, I had it. Right? But I probably would have did the same thing. Right. So he probably thought I was going to come down and smash me in the face. So
yeah. And so you never tried one rep max. So it'll be so interesting to see like what you could do, because I think your strength is absolutely insane. I'll be very curious, but it's no need for your maybe training style.
Yeah, I did just to prove a point. One of my buddies was lifted at his house, and he had you know, just finishing, right, and he was doing 500, and so I said, "Oh, what a wuss bag," joking around with him, right? And he goes, "You think you can do it?" And he says, "I could probably just sit down and do it right now," right? And without doing any reps ahead of time, I sat down and I did it twice, right? Easy. So I was laughing. I said, I don't know if I was going to try to do it for like 5 to 10, but the two times was enough, and with no stretching, no warm up, no nothing.
Wow, that's amazing, Jerry. Funny question: where does your nickname Big Daddy come from?
Well, funny story, right? So Gary Goodrich actually used that name, and then you know, and I'd always been a Gary fan, and then UAL, Robert Drink, and he was coming up names for each person, right? And you know, didn't ask me for it, right? He just knew I had a bunch of kids, right? And so he gave Richard Lupkus Leviathan, right, which I thought was one of the coolest names in the world, right? And then I get up and my shirt says Jerry Big Daddy, right? I was like, Big Daddy, it sounds like a you know, an Adam Sandler movie, right? Bitch, right? But I was like, all right, so I guess I'm Big Daddy, right? And I liked it only because like I said, Gary used to use that name, and Gary was always you know, one of the people that I strive to want to beat, and so borrowing that name from him, because he was done at that point. He chose to go become a fighter, and so I figured I'd carry on that cool ass name.
Yeah, that is nice. Jerry, lately I have seen pictures of you, videos of you. You literally look like a fully loaded truck. You are humongous. You are huge. Your arms, your like everything. What is going on with you? I never seen you like this. Is it your training? Like, what are you doing? It's incredible.
Might be the lighting, right? Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm training hard, right? And you got to remember, I might have been absent from competing for the 2.5 years at a meet, but I went to a couple meets, and there was no one there that I would have wanted to go against, and I would have just been taking away a title from someone that was training hard to get it and that I would beat super easy. And then I kept buying into the vision that WAL was going to come back. So I did take, you know, probably a year off from doing, you know, training towards it. But this last year, my focus has been on getting back, and I knew that in 2022, I was going for it, and that I wanted to, you know, reclaim a top spot. So I'm pushing myself to try to be the best version of me that I can be.
I understand. Ask you a little tricky question. What's up with Chen Shaw? What's all the beef about? Because you said the top
Uh,
five. He doesn't even consider you like top five, top 10 in North America, something crazy like this. What's up with that kid?
well, he's just young and dumb, right? So he he's got delusional, thoughts that because I went to some practice in Florida where I was on a family vacation,
Uh-huh.
he did for 45 minutes before he decides to show up, and I stayed on the table. I mean, there was a ton of people that went to that practice just to go against me. So, out of respect, you want to go against everyone. But I'd love to tell you that my batteries don't run dry. But I mean, after 45 minutes of practicing, I started to get tired. Right? I was going against, Carl Stanley. I was going against Artem. I was going against, the act that was the house, this Dan Price, Dan Prince, whatever it is. And so there was numerous people that got on the table, and I am going to be the guy that's respectful and go against every single person. So when she rolls in, 45 minutes later, I told him, and conveniently he didn't capture that on video, but I told him I had nothing left. And I said, I'll still go. I said, whatever. I says, but in verbatim, my words were that if you don't win, I says, you should go back and crawl under the rock that you were hiding under for the last 45 minutes. Right. I says, because my son could beat me right now. And so he wants to base his whole bullshit on that he was able to do better than me in practice at 45 minutes in. But in the great words of Allen Iverson, we're talking about practice, right? It's so stupid, I would absolutely destroy him on the table. I would probably just make him quit. Like I wouldn't even pin him. I'd just make him quit. I'd bring him like an inch above the pad. I'd let him bring me an inch above the pad. I'd just bring him back. I'd play with him like like my 3-year-old, right? And so I don't get it. He's just insane. I think he bumped his head. They call him the tugboat, but yet that tugboat can only beat people that are 220 pounds or lighter. And, so it's got to be like a mini, so like.
Okay, now I understand, because I always see the back and forth between you guys on Facebook. It was so fun. I have to admit, it was so funny seeing you guys going at it. But now I understand what it was, all the ultimate cause of all of it. So okay, I met Chance. He's a good kid. He's a good guy, but I didn't know that this beef with you was like this. But it's okay.
Yeah, he's just silly. No, but I mean, at least it gets him some attention. But the only problem is everyone he keeps losing to, I've already beat. So whatever. It obviously math isn't a strong point in his head. So tell him to keep focusing on the 220 class, and him weighing in at 280, beating on 220 people.
Okay, so super chat, Jay Farrell is asking, Jerry, what is your ultimate goal today? Is it to become the number one? Is it to beat Lavan?
Well, I think anyone that's a competitive person wants to, claim the number one spot. No one says, let me be the first loser and be number two, right? So I think ideally, I think I would have a good shot with Lavan, right? With my style. He doesn't seem to be, have an explosive hit. He seems to always catch everyone and then bring them right back over. I'd love for him to be able to let me get into my position, right? If I get in there first, there's very, in my mind, there's very slim chance that I'm gonna lose in that fashion. Now, listen, there's no taking it away. The guy's a beast. The guy is super strong. I mean, he's toyed with people, but he's still human, right? And everyone has to, I just think my style be something that would be able to beat him, So, but I don't know, right? I mean, I if I was telling you, and I was sitting here right now and telling you that I don't think I could beat him, I'd have to quit arm wrestling, right? Because I don't want to think that anyone's going to beat me,
Yeah, I understand. Of course, everybody who is in it for for the sport, and he's doing what is required to become the best, of course he's going to go for that. So it's 100% understandable. And I would be very curious to see you going against Slovan, because we've seen him against top rollers, begin hookers and everything, but never with somebody like your style. So it will be very interesting to see. Okay, assuming you win against Gennady, you whip his ass, who do you want next, if you could choose anybody?
Well, I told Alex, right, that we should set up a match, but I also want to go against Hermes, right? So Alex or Hermes, either one. I think that both competitors are really great competitors, and they're doing well. And I love the energy and excitement that they bring to the sport. And so I would love to go against either one of them, right? Because like Alex had said, there's a little a trifecta circle there where one beats one, the other one beats the other one, and then the other one beat the other one. So you got to kind of take out the three amigos. We'll call them the three amigos. Right? So I think either way, I think it'd be a great match. And I know that me and Alex had well, or I didn't really chat with Alex about it, but there was conversations about it happening in Dubai. And I had been approached for the Gennady match, so I couldn't commit to doing the Alex match. And believe me, I heavily considered trying to do both, but I didn't know if I'd be able to, because in proper preparation for a match, well, for me anyway, I mean, I'm over 21, right? So I want to rest 7 days before the match. And then it takes me about 7 days to recover after a tough match. I could lose 7 days. So that'd be 2 weeks of training I would lose twice, right? Because get ready for one match and then get ready for the next one. So the old version of Jerry, I found was dumb and stupid, right? So I'd go and practice 3 days before a match and then just go do the match. I'm back to practice 3 days later. Don't skip a beat. But this version of Jerry's, a better piece of equipment, I think, right?
Yeah. I actually understand you 100%, because, for example, the Corey has the similar situation. Like, he has match 2 weeks, and after the match with John, yes, and of course I understand he wants to pull with John because John is a goat, yeah. But even in the day when he pulled with John, I was asking myself how I feel today, because like the same, I also like 2 weeks after, and I think maybe not good, maybe one week, and yeah, it will be something like I can pull and fight again. But 2 weeks, it was, I think, not too enough, even for Corey, even for, he's huge, powerful, but I think it's like you said, it's better to be sure that you have the proper rest, that you are in good conditions, and go to the pool. Because if you do it too often, yeah, it's not 100% of the power.
Right. And you want your best version of yourself. If you're going to go against someone like you or someone against John, you don't want to have that excuse that, oh, I just competed, 2 weeks ago, ever. So it's tough, but hats off to you. You were dominant in that match with Corey. I was super impressed. I thought Corey's strength would give you more of a challenge, but you proved to be the wiser, stronger dude.
But actually, it was very tough. Like, Corey, like, showed a very, very high level of power, respect for him, pretty much. And like, guys says me that his hand is uncontrollable, because he's actually has like very long forearm, yeah. And he is big, he's huge actually, and very powerful. So I think that it's just like me, like you say, that we learn on the losing more than on the winning. And he's a freshman in arm wrestling like me. Like, we on one of the interview discussed how long we in the sport, and it was probably the same time, like when we beginning from 2017 or 16. And I think he will be improve by like year and year, and definitely he will be on the top. So yeah, he was amazing, like in the match with me, and actually the match with John was also very, very interesting.
Yeah, it was close with him and John. John beat him on technique. Corey proved that he was way stronger. John just proved he was way smarter.
Yeah, agree.
That's true. Also, on that note, Jerry, I wanted to thank you because you were, I remember it very clearly, was like last year, and Hermes was still not like liked like today. He was like a bit hated with the controversy. And you were the first American who came out and said good things about him. Like you complimented with the fire, his passion and drive. So it was so nice to hear that from you. So you're a really nice guy, Jerry.
Yeah, thanks. And I believe too. I think that and I call, like I can joke and say the three amigos, but I love to see these three guys coming in and being so dominant and driven, and I think that, but it sucks that they get to, that they actually get to meet and practice with each other. I have to with people that, aren't at that level.
Maybe next time we'll invite you.
Hey, don't be shy.
And
I don't know how they all fit in one car. That car had to be broken after it was done.
So you're a car dealership. I'll tell you, that was my car. It was a Kia Picanto. I swear to God, it was a Kia Picanto. I had these guys on the car. I don't know how I made it through it. The tire didn't explode. It was crazy. I checked the pressure yesterday. It was like almost empty. Crazy.
I don't know how Hermes was behind me, and I was in the end of possibilities to go back with the chair, and I don't know how he fit there. I was no idea, actually.
I thought maybe it was going to be like on America's Funniest Home Videos. You got three into a little clown car, right?
But next time we'll need a Ford truck, like a big one. Also, I'm gonna be very, very excited to see you in Istanbul. Hopefully, Alex, are you gonna be there? You're not gonna be there?
Yeah, like 90% I will be there. Like now we set the plan, but yeah, probably I will be there.
It's gonna be absolutely amazing. And so Jerry, you're a car dealership. I remember you did a bet with Levon. You proposed that if he could beat you, you would give him one of your free cars from your car. Is that bet still up, or was just like?
Listen, imagine he doesn't even try to take me up on it, right? So I think I scared him. You're laughing with me, not against me.
I laughing that if he don't want to take this offer, I will ask about this offer. I don't want to pull with you. I think like it will be the list of the people who want actually, but he's number one, of course. Like all of us wants to pull with the number one, the strongest guy. Yeah.
That's true. And also, Jerry, because you had such a long layoff period where you didn't compete, and then I see the drive in you. I see that you want to compete. You get out there and prove yourself again. I know that you did the car bet. You betted like 2-1 money to everybody in North America who would try to compete with you. You try to set a lot of matches, and it's finally good that we see you on the table again. And I would have to say, against a very tough and strong opponent, like lately he's done amazing things. So I know that you never accept a match if you don't think you're gonna dare and go and win. So I'm sure that in your mind you're gonna go there and win. But how do you see panning it out? Are you sure about yourself? Is it maybe the first professional match in years gonna be a bit trouble for you, maybe mentally? How's it gonna work out?
3-1, I'm gonna win.
That is amazing. Also, in the arm bets, you are on a shout-out stake. So if you only win one, then the bet goes to the people who bet it on you. Amazing.
I'll have to throw some bet. I don't know. Am I allowed to bet on myself?
Probably yes. Or you can ask somebody to help to make a bet.
Maybe your wife can bet. So if you only win one round before Gennady wins, like if you bet 1,000, you get like 1,700. So just raise. It's a very good bet. So Jerry, just a fun question. How does your diet look like? Like what does it take to feed such a huge human being like you?
Well, I weigh just under 330. So I do eat a lot, and I try to eat not it's not all like dietary food. I do eat a ton of chicken, ton of rice, but I'm not going to pass up on a burger. I'm not going to pass up on a steak. It's just I try to stay away from the fried foods, right? And stuff that I feel like is going to slow me down, or you know, I don't eat a lot of carbs, but you know, I'm not as selective as one would be. You know, I definitely, I just try to stay with the high protein, leaner foods, but I'm not looking to win any Mike Aiello beach muscle contest. I just want to be big and strong.
And when you do your practices, for example, first of all, how many times a week do you do table practice, or maybe a month?
Once a week.
So once a week. And I would imagine you don't press your training partners because you definitely hurt them. So do you go for a hook? Like what kind of your training goes on the table with those people?
Well, remember, I don't have people like Alex or Dave or anyone that like that caliber, but I do have a ton of people that try super hard, and we've incorporated letting them use bands into the practicing, and so I let them get into their position. I never hit anyone in practice, and I let them get the hit on me, and then I just stop them. I hold them for about 15 seconds, and then I come back and pin them, right? So I let them get on top of their arm, let them get into whatever position they're strongest in, and then I go and bring them from their strongest position and pin them, right? So to me, it helps them and it helps me because I get them at their strongest, you know, with a band too, and then I go through them and the band, and you know, I think it's the only way to kind of like level the playing field and have us both get something out of it. But towards the end, they can't use bands anymore because I start getting tired, you know.
Yeah, I understand. Jerry, this is a funny question. Just wanted to ask you. When you pull, sometimes you pull out your tongue and you do like that little movement. Is that something like unconscious thing that you sometimes
extra
do?
Power? Yeah. It brings out the other 10% of me. No, I don't like intentional. It's like I don't know, like a subconscious thing that I do that for me it's part of breathing. Right? I know I'm trying to, you know, get more oxygen or just breathe heavier, and in doing it, it's like, and I don't know. It's become like a staple, I guess, right? So it's it keeps working, so I'm gonna keep doing
it. Yeah. So now the chat might get out of control because Chen Shaw is in the live. So I think we will need to keep this short and sweet before it gets out of control. But he's saying Gennady, Issa, and Alex can all 3-0 Jerry. That's what Chen Shaw is saying. So he's trying to start some beef, but maybe we try to ignore him.
Just tell him to go over 250 pounds before he starts talking.
Wait, is it Chen Shaw competing in Istanbul with you?
No.
Does he have like a match with Zura?
Yeah, well, I think what they wanted to do is they wanted to make sure that they found a European that, you know, that could sweep. So they just invited anyone to go against Chen Shaw.
So it's also gonna be there. It's gonna be super funny. Oh my God.
Guaranteed wins for the European column.
Jesus, it's gonna be good, Alex. Everybody's gonna be there. John, Kidrigali, my Dave and Hermes and Evgeny. It's amazing. Can you believe this? It's nuts.
Hermes gonna be there?
Yeah, it's a guest.
Yeah, like a guest.
It's a guest.
Okay. So Alex, you gotta be there.
Yeah, like I said, like 90% that yes, we just set the plan how it should be.
90. I like 95 better. 95%.
Okay, I give you 95.
Yeah, better than Evgeny, 86%. Okay, Jerry, I think we covered a lot. We also want to let you enjoy the morning with your family, maybe catch some fish.
Yeah, little guys waiting to go in the kayak.
Oh yeah, have to go. Okay. So Jerry, thank you so much for your time. I really wish you all the best for your match against Gennady, and I really look forward to see you in Istanbul very soon. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, after my win against Gennady, Alex better start training.
yeah, I need to go to the gym. Thank you so much, Jerry, that you've been with us. And yeah, it will be like awesome to saw your match. And I believe that you will be there and we will be watch the match in the live. Yeah.
What do you think?
Like I said, my predictions, it's everything will be depends from the center movement. Who will be fast? If you will be fast and go into your movement, or like Gennady will be faster with the movement. And actually, I believe that like both of you don't give up and will change something during the match. So I expect it will be like the war. Yeah, I really believe that probably not the fast pin will be the answer of this match. Like who is stronger and more endurable in the like during the match. So I believe that it can be more than 3 rounds.
Hopefully. It's
Yeah,
gonna be good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I predicted 4 rounds, just 3-1 me.
Mhm. That is good.
Okay, thank you one more time, Jerry, to be with
All
us.
right, my man. Thank you guys for having me. I'll see
Thank
you
so
soon.
much, Jerry.
See you. See you.
We'll
Bye.
see you
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, I will end the live. Chen Shaw said he's going to be in Gennady's corner. That's so fun. Oh my god.
Did you already end the live or not?
Oh, wait. Okay.